And welcome to Advanced Shouting. My name is Noel Fogelman, alongside Dan Petru and Michael Bartan. What in God's name are you wearing?
Yeah, did you just pull an all-nighter at Studio 54 or something?
Okay. Yeah, I did. All right, so they're not a sponsor, but they should be after they hear this. Okay, so I got a Stitch Fix box, right? So I talked to my stylist, actually former stylist, because after this there were some issues. I talked to my stylist and I said, I want some casual stuff since I'm not working right now. Just give me a summer box, no work clothes, just stuff I can wear around the house. And somehow they sent this shirt, and you can see there's actual tigers on it. It's all tigers and palm trees. It's horrific. So I figured I would wear it tonight with no context whatsoever.
I'm at a loss for words. I mean,
I know, I am too. You know what? It's so bad I decided to start owning it. Like much like the Canucks jersey of the early '80s. This is me. We're going with it.
Right. I'm assuming Tiger King.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's a kind of a tiger. So I have a Halloween costume already for this year.
Yeah, so I'm assuming Stitch Fix will not be sponsoring Advanced Shouting.
They need some reparations that need to happen.
Oh boy! All right, so
we got that out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So we got a little bit of.
I think you look hot. Anyway, moving on.
Got some hockey news. Tomorrow was supposed to be the actual NHL draft. With COVID and everything going on, we now have the NHL Lottery tomorrow night at 8:00. It's going to be a little different this year because it's going to be virtual, naturally. So we're not going to see the awkward, general managers or the team representatives, sitting there on their hands and stuff like that. So the Ottawa Senators have the best chance, actually, to do some damage in this draft. Detroit has, the highest overall chance to get the number one pick, but Ottawa has two picks in the top 7. One of them thanks to the Sharks and the Erik Karlsson trades. So, guys, what do you think about tomorrow night?
I'm excited. I'm excited because the Kings are involved first and foremost. Last year did not go so well for us. The Rangers snatched the second overall from us, but no, it's fun. It's exciting when your team's involved. And as far as I don't know, seeing the virtual version of the lottery is going to be really interesting. I'm sure they have lawyers making sure no one's cheating and the balls are put in the right, container or whatever. But no, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird because it's only the teams that didn't make the playoffs they can get the first pick. So it's kind of weird not having defined orders. Like with the 9th pick, it's gonna be Team C, and with the 8th pick, it'll be Team B. So all that's a little weird. And the timing of it is all weird, but at the same time, it gives us something to talk about. I'm okay with it. I'm actually, if we go back a couple of years now, Ottawa is still a joke because of their owner. But if you look at them a few years ago, they were an absolute disaster. They make the Duchesne trade. They trade Karlsson. Now all of a sudden they have before this even happens tomorrow night, they already have one of the best prospect pools in all of hockey, top 5. And now they could conceivably get those first and second pick, or maybe second and third. Anyway, they're going to have probably 2 top 5 picks out of this. And to add to an already fantastic prospect pool, and good for them.
And let's not forget, they also have another number 1 pick this year, trading
the Islanders.
To the Islanders. The only way the Islanders keep that is if it's one of the top 3.
But it won't
happen.
Right.
So they could do some damage. One other interesting thing, the Devils also have a chance to get the number 1 pick.
Oh, God, no. Please, don't ruin anybody else's career.
So basically, they're becoming the East Coast version of the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's not go on another Oilers run. That would really not be good.
No, we're not.
Yeah, absolutely. But we always bury the lead with our guest not mentioning. So we're going to bring in the radio voice, the Nashville Predators, talk a little hockey and baseball. That is Pete Weber. Pete, how are you today?
I'm doing outstanding. Thank you. And I'm glad to be on here. I know I work for the Predators, but my first NHL team was the LA Kings. So glad to hear those sentiments expressed here earlier.
Yeah, Pete, and I know you told me a great story how you were the driving force of bringing scoring to the New York Islanders.
In a way, driving is the correct word. I drove him to the airport in Montreal after the trade was made so he could join on with the Islanders. And I think he did okay after that.
Yeah.
Didn't do too bad.
Yeah. So Pete, we have the lottery tomorrow. It's good to have some sort of hockey back, whether it's on a game or not. But and your team, the Preds are in the playoffs. So talk a little bit about their matchup, and what do you think is going to happen with them?
Well, I'm trying to remember that last game against Arizona, and it seems like it was back. As we rolled back like the old Star Wars, it was in a galaxy far, far away. That's how long it was. They split the 2 games they did play, and it was a homer series in that function. But we don't know about homers anymore, do we? Unless, and when they announce the 2 hub cities, maybe somebody has a very slight advantage, but with no fans in the stands, I have a hard time thinking there would be any advantage whatsoever unless they were simply able to stay in their own room. At least it doesn't appear that hockey teams are going to have the same restrictions baseball teams do. I believe they will let the hockey players shower in the rinks rather than go back to their hotel rooms, or it will be a return to the old days of when the touring Soviet teams would come in, and I unfortunately ended up in an elevator full of them in Edmonton one night, and I could tell that they were waiting to shower for a while.
Well, Ukrainian is the son of a Ukrainian immigrant. I would not be comfortable in an elevator full of Soviet players. But we want to ask, one thing you mentioned about no fans being in the arena.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the English Premier League, how they're back, and we were watching their games, and soccer is such a game that's fueled on fans, and how weird it is. The games were fine, but it's almost boring at times because there's nothing there. Now we talk about hockey. We know about the rink advantage of having home ice advantage and what that means in the playoffs. The whiteout, Nassau Coliseum, the Bell Center. You think about those great home arenas that make a difference. I mean,
yes.
How do you think this is going to be? With even Nashville too, of course. How do you think that's going to be with having a chance to win the Stanley Cup with no fans there?
Well, I think the guys are going to have to generate all the enthusiasm internally and hope that just the nature of competition brings that out. Otherwise, I'm anticipating we're going to have, the best thing would be to draft several deaf players and put them in these lineups. They're accustomed to not being able to hear anything and just get after it that way. But obviously, that's not a solution that can be considered right now, and probably is as politically incorrect as I could have said at this point in time. But that is, Charlie Pride, his nephew, played professional baseball for quite a while back in the 80s and the 90s, and he had the problem of trying to call out for pop-ups or fly balls into shallow center field and not getting smoked by a second baseman or shortstop coming out too. So we could always make those sorts of accommodations. But I just think it's going to be so strange. And I don't know if they're going to pipe noise in or if it's going to be piped in only for the television audiences and the players don't hear it. Because I remember we were in Toronto when the pause button got hit and we were talking in the lobby. I was talking with Ryan Johansson. We were going to play a game that Saturday night in Columbus, and the Ohio Governor DeWine already had said no fans will be allowed in there. So here's Ryan Johansson, an ex-Blue Jacket, going, "Hey, Pete, I'm going to be able to hear everything you say." And I said, "Guess what, Ryan? I'm going to be able to hear everything you say, too. So maybe we should both be careful."
Now, Pete, personally, do you feel comfortable going back and working these games?
I don't think I'm going to be on site. I think I'm going to be in a studio back here.
Okay.
Calling the games like international. And thankfully, I actually had a dry run, not knowing it, last summer, doing a Nashville SC game from the television studio here in Nashville. But
Good.
There again, they piped the noise from Indianapolis into me.
Okay.
What noise are we going to hear unless they just keep running the Zamboni in the background all the time?
Since we have you on here, we know your ties to Buffalo. Yesterday, the Hall of Fame announced its new the new class of for this season, and one. First of all, congrats to Jarome Iginla, Marian, Hossa, Kevin Lowe, Doug Wilson, Ken Holland, all deserving. But
Kim St. Pierre.
One guy we have actually two guys, both Sabre. Two guys we have been on for years. How are they not in the Hall of Fame? One, Pierre Turgeon, and second, the most egregious, Alexander Mogilny. Go.
Yeah, Alexander Mogilny is the most egregious of all those. I remember the night when a Soviet national came down, and I would have to say he would have been in the Soviet goon squad, coming into the Sabres dressing room, breaking in at the old odd and demanding $250,000, or else Alex Mogilny would be liable for the lives of his family back at home in the former Soviet Union at that point in time. Alex accomplished so much and at great personal risk. But aside from that personal risk, let's just look at the numbers he rang up. And I don't like to play, though I was in real estate for a while, I don't like to play the comparables, but his numbers are better than some that are in there already. He served as a captain, and I'll never forget, and if you need me to do it, Noel, I'll send it to you, the great promo we had with Alex in January of the year in which he scored 76 goals. And he was asked by the reporters in our live on-the-air post-game show on radio, to what do you attribute this great breakout season? And he said, and I will essentially paraphrase because I don't have the words all in the right order, but you're young, you go out, you work hard, you skate your balls off. I like chicken without head. And that's the way he played much of his career. And his combination at the odd with Patty LaFontaine was just absolutely incredible. And he was the sort of player that took your breath away. And right. I don't think people remember that at all, or quite why he's been passed over this long is beyond me. But then again, let's go back and how long it took Dave Andrechuk to go in, 3 years ago?
Yeah. Now, you mentioned his historic year of 76 goals in 77 games. The stat that I find amazing is he didn't get one vote for the Hart Trophy that year.
Yeah.
It's criminal. Even back then, there was a bias against him.
Yes, and I hate to claim bias against him, but I don't know what other, reason I can come up with for him not getting in there. Now, I know it's not easy. You got to get 14 of the 18 selectors to go along with you. And because there is no transparency, we don't know if he got 13. Heck, we don't know if he got 6. But I would have thought that he would have been way up there on the considerations of all.
I think that's maybe the biggest thing that is starting to show is we need transparency, and B, maybe we need a rotation of people on the panel. Maybe not the same panel every year. Maybe they only do it for 4 or 5 years, and then you get a new group in. But there definitely needs to be transparency. Without
question. And I know, baseball is so thin-skinned, but yet we know almost immediately who voted or who did not vote for our various favorite candidates. And I think that hockey players who have been through so much can withstand finding out that, someone doesn't like me.
And another guy you covered in Buffalo, Pierre Turgeon, the number 1 pick in 87.
Oh, man.
Another guy, he has the most points of any non-active player not to be in the Hall of Fame. What's the bias? Because he's not even mentioned anymore about getting in the Hall of Fame.
I think it's Dale Hunter's family who are still angry over the 25-game suspension he got for crushing him at the end of a playoff series years ago. And that's just obviously a specious sort of comeback. But I have no idea. And I don't like to play, and I spent years in baseball too, I don't like to play simply numbers for or against anybody. But I think his numbers are such that they stand out. I mean, let's go to my old buddy, my old father on the West Coast, Chick Hearn, and say slam dunk, Pierre Turgeon.
Yeah, and now moving over to baseball, they finally agreed on a 60-game season. If they're even going to play.
I hope we have 400 hitters right now, guys. I hope we have 4 guys hit 400.
I didn't even think of that. It'd be so easy to hit 400. Not easy, but it could happen.
Right.
That's a great point.
A 60-game schedule. I mean, remember in '94 when we stopped in August, and there was far more than 60 games there. But there you had Tony Gwynn at 394?
I think it was 394. Yeah, that's right.
So that's. I think it's quite possible this happens, and I'm not going to say that the ghost of Ted Williams will keep anybody down from all of this. But the fact you have a smaller sample size, it's quite possible.
That would be amazing. But there would definitely be an asterisk next to it. So
Oh, this would Ford Frick's desire for asterisk in 1961 for what Roger Maris did will be greatly exceeded should that happen, without any question.
And I know that there've been. Sorry, Dan.
No, go ahead.
There've been gimmicks. There've been gimmicks, with obviously starting extra innings with a runner on second base. I mean, why are they trying to bastardize this game? Might as well just have 3 swings and just call it a day.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, and I saw somebody wrote this morning, perhaps it was Bob Nightingale, but suggesting that in protest to the rule, the guys take these huge leads off second so they get picked off, and they get a chance, though there will be one out in the books right there, to play more like baseball to determine the winner.
I think the toughest thing, too, is I think they're going to play 60 games in 65 or 66 days.
Yes.
And will that take a toll on it? But it gives you such a small margin of error for anything to happen, whether it's weather-related, a hurricane, the COVID outbreak. There's just no margin for error here.
No, there is none. And, I did, 17 years of AAA baseball where maybe we had 7 days off per summer. And still worked in 140 plus games. That was amazing. But now, if the winners come out of anything but the Eastern Division, I will be shocked because of the proximity. It's kind of like hockey is in the old Patrick Division, where it was a bus trip except for a flight to Pittsburgh, with just the American League East and National League East playing each other. Same to the Central, same to the West. The travel is going to be much less, and I can imagine sitting in some of these ballparks, waiting through a downpour because they're going to feel real pressure to get a game in.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's something we'll have to watch for because, who knows if you're even going to play any of these sports.
Correct.
Despite numbers. But Pete, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll talk to you soon.
You guys as well. And let's put it this way, too. Let's say that there's got to be a huge, huge push for Mr. Mogilny for the class of 2021. Thank you, guys.
100%. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. He brings up a great point about.
Wait a minute. What a legend. That guy is just amazing.
Sure.
He's the best.
Yeah. Pete. I worked with Pete up in Buffalo, and there was a Sabre player, Derek Plant. And he would dog sit for Derek Plant's dog. One time,
Derek Plant.
He had to bring Derek Plant's dog to Empire Sports Network studios, and he left him on the set during the show. Dog was so cute, and I was in the studio running camera, and Pete's like, "Let's get a shot of the dog." I forgot the dog's name. I should ask Pete. And I panned the camera over to the dog. He's laying there at the end of the show with his eyes looking up. It was the cutest thing, and everyone loved it. But Pete, he's such a great guy, and one of the best at what he does. Absolutely.
Yeah, he knows his shit too. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for
Real
sure.
quick, we'll hit the comments here because we got quite a few of them tonight. We got some people saying hello from England. People saying hello from Australia. Awesome, that's great. People like the shirt so far. So I think we're gonna. I have to keep going with this.
Where in Australia?
I don't know. Yeah, Joanna, let us know where you are. But that's great. I can't believe the people in Australia and England are watching us. So, outside of our friends and relatives, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You're just drawing them in.
Yeah, and then
gravitational pull.
Yeah, and if you guys,
400 hitter Pete Alonso, let's go.
400 hitter Pete.
And if you send Dan your guy's address, he will send you one of those shirts.
I will, yeah. Or I'll send you a shirt. Game worn. I'll cut it up like a card.
Make some little pieces out of it.
Yeah, but Pete brings up a good point about Mogilny next year, and I guess headlining the class are, of course, the Sedins wins because they have to do everything together. And I hope they really, really don't induct both of them at the same time. I think that'd be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
They're not going to break up the Sedins. You know that.
Yeah, but it'd be another thing too. And Rob Brindamore also is.
Brind'Amore's got to get in.
He's got to get in. But also the two we have here, Mogilny and Turgeon. It's a shame that both are not.
Wait. Was Hossa first-time ballot?
Yeah, first ballot, which was a little surprising.
I love Marian Hossa. He absolutely deserves to be in, but that just makes the Mogilny Turgeon situation even more egregious. It's ridiculous how long they've been waiting for. I just don't understand it. It's the good old boys club, And what you said, Dan, is absolutely right. They need to just rotate the voters every like 5 or 6 years.
Just bring in new voters and transparency.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's insane.
Look, I love Carbonneau, but he's in the Hall of Fame now, and these guys aren't. I mean, if Guy Carbonneau, Rob Brind'Amour, similar players. If you have Guy Carbonneau in there, Brind'Amour's got to be in. And then even like look at a guy like Butch Goring, whose numbers are better than Carbonneau's, was also a good defensive player and has more hardware and was a better playoff performer. It just opens up this huge can of now who's the Hall of Fame? Is it the Hall of Fame or is it the Hall of really good? I want the Hall of Fame. And whenever we do this discussion, someone asks me, is so-and-so a Hall of Famer? I close my eyes and I either say yes or no. You ask me if Mogilny is a Hall of Famer, instantly, yes. Turgeon, yes.
Not a question.
Yeah, and the thing that bugs me.
Melbourne, by the way. Welcome. Cheers.
Melbourne. Melbourne, oh my God. Joanna. I've got the Southern Cross tattooed on my arm because I did a movie in Melbourne about 100,000 years ago, and it was the greatest experience of my life.
Wow.
And it is one of my favorite. It is actually my favorite city on the planet. I considered moving there many times. I'm staring at chat like she can see me. I considered moving there many times. It's just really far for the industry I'm in, unfortunately. But Melbourne, Australia is in my heart. And it is truly, if anyone watching ever has a chance to go to Melbourne, forget Sydney. Sydney's beautiful. It's an amazing city. But Melbourne is just a special place with special people. And it's I went back. I went to Melbourne from LA for 1 weekend. When that movie premiered, I was working on Alias. I flew out on Friday, landed in Melbourne on Sunday morning, went to the premiere, flew back, and was back at work Tuesday. It was insane. That's how much I love Melbourne. I spent 30 hours on a plane for 24 hours on the ground.
Wow.
Anyway.
Do the show there because it's like the safest place in the world right now because there's no COVID there.
Yeah. Well, no, there's some, but not as bad. New Zealand, I think, is the place that's completely COVID-free, but Australia's done a pretty good job at mitigating all that nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had a chance. I was so when I was working at MLB Network, the year after I left is when I could have gone to Australia to do a game. They did like the series there. I forgot what it was, like the A's and Mariners or something like that. They did a couple of games there. And
right.
I missed it like 1 year, but story of my life, you know.
And I almost wore my Melbourne hat today. Oh well.
Yeah.
Maybe Australia's not that safe. Since actually we're all in lockdown, military coming in next week. All right, Joanna, New York City, you're safe right now if you want to come out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep us up to date, please. Thank you.
And they'll show me your shirt because how awesome it is. You see Baby Yoda, you expect Baby Yoda playing hockey.
That's pretty cool.
It's definitely not going to be a defenseman because, they're all tall now, but he can certainly be, Nathan Gervey or something like that.
Nathan Gervey, nice one.
Yeah. But, you mentioned also, the Hall of Fame, snubs. Kevin Lowe, it took 20 years to get him into the Hall of Fame. And I'm always under the assumption either you're a Hall of Famer or you're not. Get in. The class could be 45 people. Get them in when they're first eligible. It's the fact that you can only vote for a certain amount of people and you're leaving this guy off, that guy. Edgar Martinez baseball finally got in after how many years? All these guys, you're a Hall of Famer. Their numbers don't change.
Right.
Exactly. So what's the point of waiting?
Exactly. And Kevin Lowe's numbers, they're not great. He's also a defenseman, and you hear how a great guy he was in locker rooms, a great leader. That never changes.
Right.
Hey, we got someone watching from Poland too. It might be one of my relatives. Jak się masz, dobrze.
My mom's born in Poland.
One thing I wanted to say about the Hall of Fame. No, besides the Sedins, is there anybody else notable next year off the top of your head?
Was it Brad Richards?
I don't think Brad Richards is the Hall of Famer.
Don't remember off the top of my head, but
I think he is eligible next year. He had 1,000 points though, right? I feel like that doesn't mean anything anymore. 1,000 points used to always get you in.
Yeah, it's also like 500 goals. I mean, that doesn't get you in anymore. It's
right, because you have multiple 500, like Kachuk, Roenick.
Yeah, Patrick.
500 goals.
Yeah, like I know Patrick 500 goals.
Patrick, yes,
but he's not a Hall of Famer. But it's like, do you think he's a Hall of Famer? But he has 500, and it's like it's tough. It's a number thing. Because certain sports, baseball minus steroids, get 3,000 hits, Hall of Famer. 500 home runs, Hall of Famer. But now it's different because you have all these guys, doing, steroids. So
did Cicerelli? How many? He had over 500 goals. No,
600, I think.
600.
He's in.
He's
in, right?
Oh, he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah. My bad.
Good trivia question. We do Hall of Fame.
Well, he said, "Oh my God, no! I want your shirt."
Yeah, we need to get those.
Yeah, it's I got it as soon as I saw it, and I think it was sold out. But I will.
This is not sold out.
Yeah, that definitely is not sold out, and
it never will be.
I think we'll do one button, show a little skin for our female audience. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, now you're cooking.
Yeah, now I'm cooking with gasoline. There we go.
And that's all the time we have tonight.
Yeah, there's a white light because I'm so pale. There's a white light just blowing out the iris above the camera.
All right, guys. I think it might be time for trivia.
I think I know it's time for trivia.
Okay.
All right. So after last week's debacle, I filed the protest, and I lost, but it's okay. But this week I'm playing the moderator, and the question is: name the goalies who have won 300 plus games in the NHL. And
300 plus games.
We all know how this is going to start, so I will let Bartan, you go first.
Well, I'm going to go with the greatest of all time, Martin Brodeur. Well, maybe not the greatest of all time, but in terms of numbers and shutouts and all that good stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to take, because I'm an asshole, I'm going to take Noel's close personal friend, Tony Esposito.
Okay. All right. So a little background story, people who haven't watched last week. We're doing, was it 500 goals, right? Players who have scored 500 goals in the NHL. And I got my Espositos wrong. We had a good run, and I said Tony instead of Phil. So, that's great. I lost. I accepted it, but at least I'm not wearing that shirt then. So,
the ladies want to see some more skin, so we're trying to help them out.
Oh God, please! It's not strip trivia.
No, it's not. It should be though.
Oh God! All right. So you said Esposito. Okay, good one, dickhead. Okay, bartender.
Jonathan Quick.
Jonathan Quick. Yep.
Let's go Tom Barrasso.
Ooh.
Tom Barrasso.
He's there.
He's there. Yes, he is.
Let's go now.
59.
Patrick Roy.
Patrick Roy, number 2. Yep.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Marc-Andre Fleury. It's number 5 overall now.
5 overall?
Yep.
Oh. Current players. Marc-Andre Fleury. Lundqvist?
Lundqvist is number 6.
Ooh. Actually, that he's number 6. Anyway.
Let's go with Evgeny Nabokov.
Evgeny Nabokov is definitely on this list.
Holy shit, dude. Where's my... Wait, hold on.
Yep.
Wait, white flag.
Oh, come on.
I got a few of my, a few arrows in my quiver, but that is Nabokov. Jesus. Let's go with Chris Osgood.
Chris Osgood, yes. We're naming all former Islander goalies now. I like it.
Okay, so we're going to do former Islander goalies. How about John Van Beesbrook?
Okay. In this climate, mentioning his name is not good, but
he's on the list.
He is on the list, though, so we'll go there.
Yeah. He's got to have Billy Smith.
Yes, Billy Smith, 305.
Arguably, in my opinion, I think the greatest goalie of all time if you need to win one game. Dominic Hasek.
Dominic Hasek.
That's actually a good description. Quick at his peak is kind of there, but Hasek was just
he is best goalie I've ever seen.
Yep,
hands down.
How about Dynasty? Grant Fuhrer.
Oh, good one.
Definitely, Coco. He's on there. All right.
Since we had Pete on and he's the voice of the Nashville Predators, how about Pekka Rinne?
Yes, number 20 on the list.
Current players still. Uh-oh.
There are a couple current ones left on here.
I'm thinking of ooh. Oh. I'm gonna wait till I'm in trouble. Mike Vernon.
Mike Vernon.
Good one.
Good one. Yes.
No, I'm not sure about who I had in mind.
Well, he had some duels with Andy Moog. I'll go with him.
Nice.
Good one.
Mike Richter.
Mike Richter. Yes, he is. 301.
Oof. What? That's it?
301, yeah.
I don't think anybody's mentioned Terry Sawchuk, have they?
No.
Nice.
Yeah, because Richter, he platooned a lot with Beezer early on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But still, I thought
That's right.
I thought he'd have 400 at least. Glenn Hall.
You say Glenn Hall? Glenn Hall is on.
You stole mine.
Well, you're going old school. I gotta follow. I'm following you, bro.
Actors still some. The most wins by an American. Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller, yes. Number 15. He had 387.
Nice. Jacques Plante.
Yes. Number 9.
Ryan Miller, good.
Cujo, Curtis Joseph.
Yes, Cujo. There's still one left in the top 10.
Oh, I think I know it.
Eddie Belfour.
That's right.
Bobby Lou, Roberto Luongo.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was 2 left. Luongo. Yeah, that's right. Home rounder again.
Yep.
Ooh, now it's getting toasty.
There's still an active one on there.
Still an active one? Okay,
Yeah,
this is the guy I was thinking. Well, this is the guy I was thinking of. I wasn't sure. Carey Price.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, I got to start flexing some muscles here. All right, Nikolai Habibulin.
The Wall. Damn it.
25th overall.
Tony Esposito.
Said already.
He was already, but I'll give you credit for it.
No. Did you say Curtis Joseph?
Yep.
Fuck. God. I'm just thinking of guys who played forever now. Arizona. Oh, did he? Screw it. Sean Burke.
Sean Burke, 324.
I'm there.
Nice.
Wow.
That was one of my guys.
Good job.
Oh, I'll go with Tomas Vokundo.
Oh, okay. Good one.
What?
Yeah, both
Come on.
300. He's there.
300 exactly. Exactly.
How do you know that?
Because I have no life.
He wears that shirt. What do you expect?
Exactly.
Thomas
All right,
Vokoun.
Yeah.
How many are there left? I think that's it.
Yeah, there's a couple guys.
I said Rogie Vachon. I said.
Wait, no, who?
Well, you
I
did
said Rogie Vachon.
You did not, but he's on there.
Ah,
I thought I was going to go with my Kings off the bat.
There you go. Nope. On the list. Dan's struggling now.
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward is on the list. 334.
Wow.
I only got 2 left in my head. You gotta fail soon.
All right. Give you a hint.
I'm about to fail. I have no idea. I'm thinking of guys that, since all the active players have been said, I'm thinking of guys who played for a long time, but now my head's going like Vincent Riendo and all over the place.
You're in a dark place.
Bob Essenza. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, you got to rein it in.
Yeah, exactly. God, there's got to be an old-time Hall of Famer I'm missing.
There's definitely an old-time Hall of Famer you're missing.
Famous?
A couple guys.
Couple.
Yeah. Congratulations, you win, because I can't think of it.
I'm going to give you a hint. I want to see this continue. Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
What does that mean?
Just think about the characters he's played in his career.
Oh, shit. I know much more about hockey than Hollywood.
Oh, you gave it away.
Probably the biggest character he's played. It's in the title of the movie.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Oh, Gump Worsley.
There you go. Nice.
No, I don't deserve that. That's too much. No, that's too much. That's too much.
That counts.
No,
Dan,
it doesn't.
Dan, pull that shit on me the first time.
I can handle defeat. That was way too much of a hint.
You said the last name. If you just don't, you would have found it.
Dude,
So,
last week, if you got bounced for a first name mistake, that is unacceptable. I must accept defeat graciously. Congratulations. I'm 0-3. You're 3-0.
Wow.
And,
I was gonna say my next one was gonna be Carey Lathinen.
Oh, you cheater! Yeah, 3-10.
Not cheating.
How about Mika Kiprasov?
Yeah, he's on there.
Okay, let's continue. Okay,
He's on
No,
there.
no, it's over. But the you said a Finn, and that just
Okay.
it's funny when you say someone, it triggers something in my head
Turk
because I'm.
Broda on there.
What'd you say?
Turk Broda.
Yep. All right,
Wow.
let's see if we can finish it. There's a couple more.
Marty Turco was not on there, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No.
How many are left?
Let's see. One, two guys. That's it.
Wow, 2 guys.
One guy took his team to the cup. They didn't win it. Had a cool nickname.
Like what year?
2008.
2008.
His nickname is part of his position. I'll put it that way.
Oh, Olaf Kolzig.
There you go.
Oh, Ole the goalie.
Forgot him.
Oh my God, that's no good.
And then I'm sure if Artan saw this guy play.
Because I'm that old.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Harry Lumley.
Oh God.
Actually, I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
All right.
That was good. You guys did good. Now, let me ask a quick question, because goalies are weird for the Hall of Fame. Like 300, is not like baseball. 300 doesn't get you into the Hall of Fame in hockey. There's a lot of guys here we mentioned, and half of them aren't even in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think is a qualification for a goalie to be in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, I'd like to know the stats. The comparables were during the original 6 era, because they played a lot less games, a lot less teams.
But they played every game.
Yeah, but there were less wins to be had just by sheer numbers.
Right,
So,
but what I'm saying is there was no real backup. They played all 50 games. Where nowadays you have more of a split.
right. Yeah. So I guess
I don't know. It's like it evens out, don't you think?
maybe 400 wins.
Because I mean,
and the Stanley Cup. Or...
that have 400. Chris Osgood, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's has a great resume. Won a few cups.
Yeah.
He has 400 wins.
Is Mike Vernon in?
Mike Vernon is not.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Should be. Can make a case for Mike Richter as well.
Yeah. I don't think he's long enough though.
Curtis Joseph. I mean, he should be.
Oh, Curtis Joseph, absolutely Hall of Famer. The fact he's not in is ridiculous.
454 wins. I mean, that's come on.
And how about this? For any position, do you have to have won a Stanley Cup to get in?
No.
I don't think. Yeah.
Right.
No.
But I mean, I think if you've done enough in the postseason, that can certainly help. Like you mentioned, Butch Goring before. He's had some great postseasons. I mean, his numbers in the regular season are pretty good. But I mean, I think what you do in the postseason definitely helps the cause.
Yeah, I mean, Nabokov and who is it? Thomas Vokoun. How did you even? Where did that come from?
I just things where you watch every game every night for 20-something years, and you just remember them celebrating his. I remember them just giving him like some kind of gold stick or something for his tremendous win.
Who did he play for the most? Was it like all over the place?
Preds and Panthers.
Yeah, and he played a little bit with the Penguins too.
A little bit with the Penguins. Yeah, he was already done for that.
Wow, that.
Yeah. I just remember stupid things like that. I just remember for some reason that just popped in my head.
Well, it's the only reason I said Jonathan Quick, because thought of him earlier today. I was like, does he have? And then I remember the game I saw where they celebrated 300 wins. But
yeah,
Thomas Vokoun, Jesus.
And it's funny because Billy Smith only has 305.
Right.
And he such a long time, but he also platoons, with Chico Resch and Rolly Melanson.
And Arbor did that on purpose. He kept in the playoffs. He played every game in the playoffs.
Right. And when you have two goalies, you might as well play them and keep them fresh for the playoffs.
He always had a great backup.
Yeah.
So I propose a new format for the show for the trivia that I always post.
Okay.
Do that? No, we can do that.
No, because I'm 0 for 3. It's getting embarrassing now. And, I don't work in sports, but it's pretty much my passion in life. And I'm still bitter about the first week omission of Peter Bondra. Yeah. I meant to say Peter Bondra.
Think of it this way, Michael. You host kind of like a game show right now. Someone might see this, and next thing you know, you're the new host of Jeopardy at some point.
Oh, well, you know what? That would be good.
Yeah, we can. You can work on your. I could see you as a game show host. Maybe they bring back Hollywood Squares.
Oh my god! Oh my god! My worst nightmare. Seriously, worst nightmare. God. although Drew Carey on The Price is Right made enough money to never work again for 100,000 years.
Right.
And he bought a soccer team with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Steve Harvey can't host every show, right?
That's right.
He's got to spread them out a little bit. Absolutely. All right, guys. But before we go, another hockey story. Getting more and more close to the Seattle franchise. And today they announced that the arena is going to be called Climate Change Arena. Amazon's Jeff Bezos, richest man in the universe, purchased the rights. And just think, this guy has more money than anything, and he didn't have to name the arena the Amazon Arena or Prime Arena. He just went with a cause, which I think is fantastic.
Right. Yeah. It would be amazing if they can have a carbon-free, arena. That would be.
It's supposed to be.
How is that going to work? That would be a phenomenal feat of engineering and science and technology.
Even the water for the ice, they said, is going to be recycled.
No, I believe it.
And their mascot will be Dwight Schrute as the Recyclops.
Oh my God, Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, because I made this joke earlier, and it still holds. They're going to be using recyclable players for the first year. So.
But
they'll somehow make the playoffs.
Oh, they will, because they'll get the best players. And
do you guys think it's going to be tough to even come close to duplicating what the Knights did, obviously? But will they be competitive out of the gate?
Although, wait a second. Wait, they got that asshole in charge, Ron Francis? No, they're going to suck.
Wow.
I found a way.
42 minutes. Ron Francis cursing out. All right, cool. We got Peter Bondrin. We got Ron Francis. Nice. Okay, we got both.
And Tony Esposito.
Tony Esposito, of course. So we got to get them in there.
Tony on the show.
Yeah. All right, guys. That
was fun. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Wear a mask.
I'm getting out of this shirt.
No, keep it on. You should go out there.
Yeah, and
you should find some underground club and just slay the dragon. Whatever the hell that means.
I don't know.
All right, boys. We'll see you next week.
All right.
Yeah, everyone's to YouTube channel, the Facebook page. Tell your friends. Watch the past episode.
We should do next time, or we can do it. Well, we probably don't have time, but next time we should have chat give us ideas on trivia questions or subjects that they might.
Oh yeah, we do real time.
Yeah,
and you can call up the answers on your computer. I like that. That's perfect. Yeah. We'll do that next week.
Yeah, and I want a quick shout out to my son Zach, who's in the chat, and he's recovering from a broken wrist.
Oh.
So second day at camp he broke it. Feel better, son. Now he can be even more lazy. So
of course,
the most athletic type.
Yeah, God,
will not live up to Vegas hype. I agree with you, Zach, 100%.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hart Trophy winners. I like that.
Hart Trophy winners. Okay.
Yeah, and that'll be easy to find.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered I cannot make it next Thursday because I've got an appointment to do something else. I can't do Hart Trophies. That is a good one, Zach.
Right?
Oh, Aussie players, Joanna. They're Aussie players.
There's that guy who was on the Capitals and then Edmonton. He bounced around a little. He's recent.
There was a guy on the Kings who he's not Australian. He was a big enforcer for the Kings. This is a horrible thing to say, but that was the era. He was a terrible player. He was like 6'6". He was a fighter. Oh my God, what is his name? Anyway, he ended up going down to coach the Australian national team for a while. And he was literally the worst player on the Kings. But I guess Australian hockey was developing at the time. I'm sure it's great now. Hockey around the world is great now. It's not the way it was 15, 20 years ago. So I'd love to see more Australian players in the game.
I would too.
It'd be great.
Yeah, the game is definitely expanding.
The Australian attitude in general towards sports is very much hockey-centric in terms of their mentality. Maybe not so much AFL, tell me if I'm wrong, Joanna, but NRL for sure. Those guys are just beasts. And AFL players are tough also. They really are. Australians have a no-nonsense, meat and potatoes kind of approach to sports. If they get hit hard and they're not hurt, they bounce back up. You know, it'd be good to have some Aussies in the game.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't find it. Damn it.
Michelle, Arsenal players for.
Hey, they won today, and a clean sheet to boot.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right, guys. Until next week.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Thanks for
Thanks for tuning in. Take care.